Tracy, what you got real quick? You wanted to say something.
Okay. Yes, sir. You said, well, why is it only black men? And I'm gonna give you that answer because I actually heard it from a white man. The thing that the white man fears the most is the black man in leadership and in power.
Yes.
So as a result, what do you do to the enemy? You weaken the enemy. You kill and destroy. And that's exactly what they do. They are intimidated by black men, so they demasculize the black male. And I think that this is one of their ways.
All right. We got Brother Flow State in the building, sir. What would you like to add to what it is that we've been talking about so far? And it's wonderful to see you.
You too. Well, so I want to respond to an earlier comment by Embrace the Grace. Said
It's the truth. I've seen it. I've heard it from, let me finish. I've heard it from white men, maybe not all white men, but why are there so many liquor stores in the hood? Why are there so many guns in the hood? But you go to the suburbs, it's different. You know, the melanated community is digressed, and it's done purposely. And who is the majority right now? I didn't say all white men, but white men are intimidated by the black men.
You said white men. But you didn't say all. You said white men, so that assumes, there wasn't that qualifier there. Can I respond, or you go ahead?
Go ahead.
Yes. Y'all got some moments.
I'm telling you, I'm a white man, and I'm telling you that what you just said, representing me, is wrong. Now, I see that you've got reasons and that you can make these leaps of logic from one to the next, but they're your own leaps of logic. It's not reality, and that's exactly why I said I would prefer to see more black men empowered so that we don't have this inferiority complex blossoming into fantasies.
Okay, do you think more white men right now feel like you or less white men? Because you're a rare breed, and there's a lot of white men like you, but there's more not like you.
I think that most white men have never even thought about this question.
I disagree, but we can respectfully agree to disagree.
That's a fallacy. And the reason being is because...
hold on, Simon. Stay on mute. Everybody stay on mute.
Let them go ahead and go. Go ahead, Flow State. Let them talk for a minute. Let Flow State go. and then
I think
whoever
the
wants to
hubris
respond
is
to
trying to.
whatever he has to say.
I mean,
All
I'm just
right,
going to point out
whatever whoever
the
wants to
massive
respond can
hubris
respond.
of
Go ahead.
trying to tell me what white men think. While I'm telling you that you're wrong, you're going to sit here and tell me that you're right. You're a black woman. How the fuck are you going to tell me what white men think? I'm telling you that you're wrong.
And that's an opinion. That's an opinion because I've heard it from several white men. So that's an opinion that you have. It doesn't have to make it right or wrong, but that's an opinion. Do we see white men being lynched?
Is it useful?
Do white men get lynched?
Is it useful or is it
It's necessary to talk about. It's necessary. We need to stop sweeping shit underneath the rug and pretend that it's not there. But you're saying, is that necessary? Is it helpful? Yes, it is. Because sometimes it needs to be heard. It needs to have the fact that you and I are having dialogue is progress. You know, I don't. Again.
Go ahead.
Again, that's your opinion.
One mic.
Than me to have an opinion on the views of white men.
Absolutely not, because you are a white man. Okay. Absolutely not, but that doesn't make you right.
Well, there is no single opinion of white men. So really, neither of us could be right if we said there is one single opinion. I'm telling you that there's not. That is not the opinion of all white men. I'm not telling you what the opinion of all white men is, because there isn't actually. That thing doesn't exist.
Okay. Maybe in your world, but it is different for the melanated community because you don't go through the things that the melanated community goes through. You're not scarce on resources like the melanated community is. So you don't deal with. Again, you're taking it personal. Okay, we're talking about a whole situation. Circumstances. Don't take it personal. If it doesn't apply, let it fly.
What you're doing is you're discounting, or you're discrediting my opinion, my experience having been poor, my experience having been raided by police, having been a defendant, being a felon, like all the things that you would attribute to black people. I've been through. I'm telling you, it's. We don't have that different of circumstances, but that's a whole different discussion. Really, what I wanted to say is, if you're gonna speak for us, please do it in a useful way. Maybe not one that stokes more division. Either way, you're speaking out of turn. You don't have the right to make the claim. So, at least next time, try to do it in a helpful way, not a one that stokes this.
And I can respect that, but sometimes it's not always going to be helpful. We got to put the truth out in the rawness and in the realm of reality. And because you don't like my approach, my delivery, I'm not a white man, but I've lived it. I've seen it. I'm half Dominican, half Sicilian. The fact that a white person is telling me I'm not qualified to talk on white issues, now I'm getting it from both sides. So what am I qualified to talk about?
Your own experience, but the way that you've called it the truth twice now. It's not the truth. That's my point.
In my world, it is. That's the difference. You're trying to put me in your world, and I'm not putting you in my world. There are things that you experienced that I haven't experienced. There are things that I've experienced that you haven't experienced. I'm
putting you in the world where you are one person. You cannot possibly speak for all people, especially all people of a demographic that you don't fit, not on the white side nor on the man side. You're completely unqualified.
I see you. Hold on, sis. I got you.
You're putting forth your own fantasy and you're claiming it as fact.
Again, we can respectfully disagree. I mean, we can go in circles all night. You know, what I've lived and what I've seen and what in the conversations that I've had with white men, powerful corporate men, executives, you know, and then not an average blue collar, white collar, you know, the conversations are too similar. Everything that's going on right now to the melanated community is indicative of a lot of things I'm talking about. So it's all good. You know, it's everybody has their own experience, and you're just taking it personal. You really are, and I apologize if you feel disrespected, but I'm talking about what I've seen and what have I experienced and what I've learned.
Listen, y'all, listen. All right, I ain't got a lot of time on here. I'm gonna have. I know Grace got to go, right? I'm gonna have him three. Kind of take over and moderate for a minute. When this conversation is over and done, he's gonna close out. All right, M3 has the capability to close.
by the virtue of their birth or the coincidence of it. I yield.
That's facts.
So let me ask you guys a question then, right? I'm coming in late on the game or whatever, right? So I'm just playing catch up. Everyone's thoughts, man. Look, I respect everyone's opinions to it, and as an American or Black American or whatever, of course, I would never want to try to play victim to anything. But I'm just going to just ask you guys straightforward: do any of you guys believe that blacks should get reparations?
No.
No. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna run away, but I appreciate it. I just want y'all to know I just gotta go. I gotta run and do some other stuff. So thank
Nice
y'all.
to meet you.
Of course she does. She's
Yeah,
a lady.
How
Well,
dare you?
Divesting already.
Good. All right. Smitty, you think we should get our reparations? Could be yes or no.
Should we get our reparations? Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Reason why? Because everybody else has gotten something. The fact
Okay.
is, I mean, listen. If I'm looking at busloads of Hispanics come over here, nothing personal, right? But busloads of Hispanics coming over here, sleeping in our daggone police stations, everything else, and they actually get food stamps. They actually are on the list of housing. Lord knows how many of us, whether you feel they deserve it or not, who have been on that list, they're going to just jump right in front of the lineup.
The key word is you said ours. The key word is you said ours. It's like you don't own shit.
So the issue there is that
Hold on. Those who come over here and they are just bombarding everything. I'm going to say it. Yes, those of us who have been here, it is something that I do consider to be unresolved. Now, of course, anybody who knows me know I'm not one of the folks that be out here, whining, complaining and everything. Nah, ain't none of that. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not about no bitching, no saying somebody else should help me with this or that, nothing. Even in my situation as we speak. All right? But I do recognize that there is something that has not been resolved. The fact is, when it comes to goddamn the law, when it comes to the law, we all know that it don't matter how long you've had this warrant, the warrant is still open until it's taken care of. I don't care if it's 15, 20 years old. If you have a warrant, it is open. It is, matter of fact, after a certain amount of time, considered outstanding.
some expire.
So you know what? Yes, I do believe that black people have an outstanding debt that it needs to be paid. Yes, I do, because the Native Americans got it. Asians got their little reparations. Come on, let's stop playing with it now. Okay? Now we got floods of Spanish. Simon, stop talking. And now we got floods of Spanish people coming over here and just bombarding shit. Nah, man, fuck all of that. And then we got to keep on hearing about how we don't have money for this, don't have money for that, but yet money's going all over everywhere else, helping Ukraine, helping basically everybody but right here. And not just right here. Yes, at least just go ahead and take care of that and get it out the way. Get out the way. Go ahead, squash that off, get it out the way. But yes, I do believe that. I do believe that that should be the case, okay? Now, again, to land it, I'm not on no bitching shit. I'm not on nothing about anybody needs help, because I'm going to be real with you. I guess you can say plan B or whatever, like second thought, if they're not giving it to us, stop standing around talking about they need to give it to us and let's get some shit done. That's where my headspace is. So I'm not about standing around, but I digress. My mic is muted. Rock out.
No, I appreciate it, Smitty. Marcus, and Tika, I'm gonna get to you guys on that part, but Flow State, what do you think? Do you think black people today deserve reparations from what pretty much our ancestors encountered, which is the past?
No, I think reparations is a wedge issue intentionally. The problem with it is that it miscategorized, like the person we just heard speak makes the mistake of miscategorizing people and treating illegal immigrants as Hispanics, when really the real difference that you were speaking of was between citizens and non-citizens. But this is the same issue that happens all throughout reparations when people talk about it. So if you think about the logistics of it, right? What is it? Just black people, or is it slaves? So would you have to be a descendant of a slave?
No, African Americans in particular.
Okay, so African Americans. What about the ones that came over after? What about Elon Musk? I mean, there's just a million ways that this doesn't actually make sense if you think about it. I believe it's a wedge issue intentionally to create division. And no, I don't think that people today deserve let me rephrase that. I think everybody's been screwed over by the government in some way. I do not think that this is any different. And I would also say that
it Native Americans for everybody else who was not.
Let me finish one more thing. Native Americans definitely got screwed over too. They didn't get theirs with the reservations. They got pushed into those. I land.
Interesting. Go ahead, Smitty. I know you was going to say something.
I'm asking, how does it make sense for everybody else? That's it. The fact is, I don't care what it is that was given. The fact is, whatever was done was settled. There is nobody else talking about that actual R word when we talk about reparations, except what would be considered either FBA or African Americans specifically. All I'm saying is this: I actually wouldn't even be thinking about it and or be saying what I'm saying if no one else got it. It's for the simple fact that if everybody else did get something taken care of with this, then I don't see why, for as long as we've been here, we haven't been able to get the same thing. That's it. I'm not saying we should get something that everybody else didn't get. I don't care how you describe it, I don't care how you try to put it. The fact is, on paper, they've settled shit for other cultures and other races who are on this American soil, except for the ones who literally helped build this American soil. I'm not saying we did everything. I'm not one of them. I don't say we did every single damn thing, but we damn sure did a whole lot. And there should be no reason why it shouldn't be something that's settled by now. I don't want to hear we don't have the money. I don't want to hear on no shortage. None of that. None of that. Because we see and hear every day where funds go continuously. Just take care of that shit and shut us the fuck up. Just shut us the fuck up. Just take care of it. That's it. But remember, Flo, I truly am like, hey, my niggas, if they not gonna give it to us, shut the fuck up about it, and let's go ahead and click together, and let's do what we do best, and that's making something out of nothing. I digress. My mic is muted.
Right. And to kind of like dig into a little bit more, right? Because, we as American people, we built this country up together. In some cases, wherever it been, something that was egregious, something that was probably less than that. But no matter what, if we as American people build it together, so let's say, for instance, like natives, like Native Americans that was in the land, American white people. I'm talking about just American, just pretty much in general. So I'm not really trying to like just classify or just make it like just more like a race type of thing, but I'm looking at more of like an American standpoint. So if we made America to like what it is like today, but then yet let's say, I don't know, America, like, Mexican American or white American or Native American, or let's say Asian American, whatever.
Asian American, Middle Eastern American.
Yeah, Eastern American, right? Let's just say if they got some form of like checks or whatever, reparations, but if we didn't get anything, right? Should that pretty much give us a right to pretty much ask or demand for that, for some type of like justice to be served in some kind of way as American people? That's where I'm kind of getting at, you know because I hear you guys was talking a lot about like American people, um a little bit of how like kind of like let the past kind of bury itself and then focus on who we are like today type of thing. So that's why I kind of brought up the reparations part, because then when it comes down to it, it's always going to be like mixed opinions like to it, if that makes sense.
Be like to get your money. I'm not gonna hate on that, because if I was the shoes on the other foot, I'd want to get that money too. Just make sure whatever man, woman, black, white, yellow, brown, whatever, purple. It don't matter. We all have different experiences. We're gonna have different takes, and you just gotta understand and just sit down, listen first, take notes, and then ask questions. So just these kind of conversations. It's just peel the layers. Just keep peeling the layers and listen to each other and see if you would take what you can grow with this. All right, just build from it. So that's it. But just shout out to you guys. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. And don't be susceptible to everything they put on TV either. Do your homework, do your research, get a first, second, and third opinion. Some of these times, some of this propaganda and media is to divide us. So don't follow that. Make sure that you reach to your neighbor, left and the right, regardless of what culture they are. Maybe you can take notes, and maybe they can take notes from you. All right, that's about it. Just a positive note.
That was actually pretty damn dope, Marcus. I appreciate you on that. No bullshit. M3, what you got?
Like a good infomercial, man.
Respect.
Yeah.
Okay, now, well,
you guys were definitely cooking, man. And honestly, like, I just sit back quiet because I just was absorbing like the knowledge that you guys was giving. So I ain't got much to really say, but respect to all you guys, man. And I'm glad that we're having those type of conversations. It's good to kind of have like those icebreakers where we can actually come together like mature adults, even if we have disagreements and our own opinions. We should never let any fear of whatever, whether it be color or nationalities, think of us, vice versa, whatever the heck you want to call it. So respect to everybody. This was a good conversation. Appreciate it.
And other than that, I digress. My mic is muted. Respect.
All right, everyone. Well, Smitty is out, so we're going to go ahead and close this out. Flow State says this was a good talk. Do you have permission to mirror it on your channel? Hey, I mean, go ahead, man. Do what you want to do. Just tag like our channels, like when you're doing it, and yeah, you're good.